Hello guys, today I'm very excited to show you this chess game. It was played between Rashid Nezhmetdinov and Oleg Chernikov in 1962 in the Soviet Championship. So this game is one of the greatest chess games ever, and I simply have to show it to you, and then you can judge after the game and decide if it's the best game or not. So Rashid Nezhmetdinov playing was with white pieces, played e4. Oleg responded with c5, the Sicilian defense. Knight f3, knight c6, d4, pawn captures, knight captures. This is the main line of the Sicilian. Pawn to g6, this is called the dragon variation. Black plans to fianchetto his bishop. Knight c3, bishop g7, attacking this knight. Bishop e3, protecting the knight. Now knight f6, bishop c4, black castles, and here white plays bishop b3. And here actually white sets up a trap. If you've seen my video about Bobby Fischer playing against Samuel Grzeszewski, in this game the black pieces played knight to a5, and here Bobby Fischer completely destroyed the black position by playing e5, and after a few moves actually, then Grzeszewski went knight e8, and then he sacrificed the bishop here and dropped the queen, which is very interesting game, and you can watch it on my channel. But in this game that's not what happened, and here Oleg Chernikov took a different approach and went knight to g4. So first of all, it looks like a blunder of a piece, but the idea is very great. So this knight attacks this dark square bishop, and it opens up this bishop and this knight. So very common line in the Sicilian defense. So Rashid Nezhmetdinov took the knight, and then the knight took this knight on d4, and here you can exchange, but it will be actually better for black. So instead Rashid Nezhmetdinov played queen h4, starting some sort of attack here. Queen a5 is played. So the idea right now is to remove this knight and to start pinning this knight on c3. So Rashid castles, and here bishop f6 is played by Oleg Chernikov. Okay, let's be honest, what you will do in this position, you will simply run away with your queen. But what Rashid Nezhmetdinov did here is simply crazy, and I bet you never think of something like this. You're always told to look at captures, look at what pieces you can take, but this move is simply out of this world. So queen takes f6, Rashid actually sacrificed his queen. Wow. So the story goes on that a little boy just ran to Oleg Chernikov and told him, Mister, he sacrificed his queen, and Oleg quickly ran to the board. So in this position, before doing this move, Rashid fought for about 40 minutes, and Oleg went out to just, smoke or something. And after Rashid played this move, everyone was going crazy. So here, after Oleg saw this move, he first of all played knight to e2, check. So the idea is to get these pieces, like to not get them together, because let's say here you first take, then the bishop takes this knight, and these pieces are very strong. So to discoordinate the pieces a little bit, he first sacrificed his knight, and only after white took, Oleg took the queen and accepted the sacrifice. So right now we exchanged two pieces for a queen, which is kind of interesting. But if you like check with the engine right now, the position is equal. You can put it out in Stockfish. I will leave all the moves in the description, the PGN. You can import it and you will be actually stunned. So wow. And now how the game continued. So Rashid bring his knight back to c3, and here the knight is very strong. Rook to e8, Oleg develops his rook, and now Rashid plays knight to d5, defending this pawn, but in a very interesting way. So the knight here takes the center, and right now you can't take this pawn because of this fork, you see. So instead here Oleg Chernikov played rook to e6, guarding this pawn, and here bishop d4 is played by Rashid, putting another attacker on this pawn on f6, king g7, defending the pawn. Now Rashid develops his rook, puts his rook on an open file, the position here is completely drawn by stockfish, but I think white has actually better potential because the queen is at the edge of the board, this bishop and rook aren't playing, and if you look at white's pieces, they're all coordinated and playing. So you still cannot take this pawn because of this, and black plays d6, so maybe to get out this bishop, because this bishop needs to play, and here rook d3. So the idea is to bring this rook, and after even connect this rook in the game, but main reason to put pressure on this pawn. So bishop d7, the bishop gets in the game, and rook f3, putting some more pressure on this pawn. And here Oleg Chernikov plays bishop b5, attacking this rook. So here, by the way, the engine tells me that the best move is to take here, and let's say if you take this, then white has a beautiful check, and here white has a very strong advantage, and you take this rook, and it's not easy, but Rashid Nezhmetdinov is not an engine, but he's a very brilliant chess player, and he played bishop c3, first of all attacking the queen. Queen went back to d8 to help with the defending of this pawn, and now knight take f6. Wow, such a beautiful move, and here I think black did the move that lost for him. Here black should accept that white has a very strong potential and maybe play rook c8 to sacrifice the rook for this bishop. It will be very good, and then actually take these pieces, but what happens here is crazy. So black plays bishop e2, attacking both this rook. So right now this rook is hanging, the knight can go and do a discover check, so that's why Rashid Nezhmetdinov did. He played knight takes h7, which is a beautiful sacrifice. So right now the idea of this move is discover check. If you simply covered then you lost the rook, and if you try to take the knight there, then rook takes f7 check, and after the king goes here, you simply take this, and look at this pair of bishop and rooks. This is completely over, and if you take here, it's even actually mate. It's called the windmill technique, and here it's actually mate, bishop g7, and this is checkmate. So let's go back. So in this position Oleg Chernikov found the best move, which is king g8, and here rook h3 is played by Rashid. So this move puts tension on here and prepares to remove the knight and give checkmate. Look at this pair of bishops, he doesn't even take this rook. Wow. Okay, so rook to e5. So here Oleg Chernikov understands the main threat of this, so he is ready to sacrifice his rook, but Rashid doesn't even notice this and plays f4, attacking the rook. So here Oleg takes the rook, king captures, very solid move. And look at all these pieces, look at this diagonal, look at these bishops, they're very strong. This rook isn't the game, this rook also, and all the pieces are discoordinated in black's position. The king is very weak. So rook c8, so he wants to sacrifice his rook for the bishop, and that will be great. And here, instead of taking what the engine suggests, which is actually also a very good move, because right now this is like completely game over, but you need to find the best moves. And let's say you can take right here because of this check, and this is like completely over. But here Rashid plays bishop d4. Wow, keeping the tension of on this rook. b5 is played by Oleg, which I don't understand why he did this move in such a position where you need to support the attack. Knight g5 is played by Rashid. Wow, now he threatens to take this pawn. The knight is out, so the rook cannot move because it will be checkmate. This is completely crazy. Here Oleg Chernikov defends this pawn, and here. So bishop takes f7, check. Rook takes f7, and only now in this position, look at these pieces, how beautiful they are arranged, and now it allows white to sacrifice the rookie. Now after king takes, because if he doesn't take, it just hangs the queen. Knight takes f7, triple fork, even 4 fork. Wow, such a beautiful position. King h7. And now Rashid captures the queen and rook takes e4, knight c6, rook takes on f4 and king to e2. In this position Oleg Chernikov finally resigned because he cannot go with this anymore. All these pawns are very weak and white will capture them in a second. The white pawn are very strong and two pieces for a rook and an active king is completely winning. This position is completely winning for white. Such a beautiful game, and tell me in the comments if you like this game, and see you guys next video.